Tonight on CTV News at 6, boom and bust. What to do when provincial income plummets. Addressing a ballooning budget deficit.
We need to spend less. That's the bottom line.
Justice for Nina!
Fewer than 4 years in prison for the death of an 8-year-old girl.
She didn't deserve this.
And a driver arrested for going 3 times the speed limit in the city.
Another chilly one on the way for tomorrow, but temperatures back above 0 on Sunday.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. A woman who pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the death of an 8-year-old girl was sentenced late this afternoon. The girl's family is outraged with the decision. Amanda Anderson has reaction from the law courts.
Justice for Nina! Justice for Nina!
Justice is not what the family of an 8-year-old girl felt happened in court today, as a woman guilty in the child's death was handed an 8-year sentence.
It wasn't manslaughter, it was murder. It was not an accidental death.
Nina Napope-Dumais was killed in 2023. In an agreed statement of facts, the court heard she suffered from chronic abuse and neglect while in the care of now 30-year-old Ashley Rattlesnake. The girl's body was found in a hockey bag in the back of a truck in Masquachese.
Nina was a sweet little girl. Nina was such a sweetheart. She didn't deserve this. Our family doesn't deserve this.
Rattlesnake was originally charged with murder, but pleaded guilty last fall to the lesser charge of manslaughter. It prompted Edmonton police to urge prosecutors to call off a potential plea deal, or the service would release details about the case and let the public decide if justice had been served. Today, the justice addressed the actions of police, saying, "I am making my sentencing decision without any fear of the Edmonton police's actions." The justice started around 12 years for a sentence, but gave a 25% reduction because of Rattlesnake's guilty plea, and further reduction, saying police attempts to interfere were a mitigating factor. The family says they're glad police spoke out and hope they do release information the family wasn't able to get through a trial.
I hope it comes out.
Me too.
And then they say, oh, just to protect the family. At least the family didn't have to sit through trial to not hear everything. We need to know. That's part of healing.
Rattlesnake was also given credit for time she spent in pretrial custody, which is about 1,500 days, meaning she has just under 4 years left on her sentence. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
2 skiers were caught in an avalanche at a popular ski resort in Kananaskis country. RCMP say it was an inbounds avalanche in the Nikiska area. This is webcam video from Nikiska taken within the hour. The avalanche was reported just before 1 p.m. today. Police say one of the 2 skiers who got caught in the slide managed to dig themselves out. It took emergency crews and specially trained avalanche dogs to find the second person and dig them out of the snow. Calgary EMS says an ambulance transported a critically injured teen to the Alberta Children's Hospital in Calgary in life-threatening condition. The avalanche risk in K-Country is rated high. A day after the province posted a $9.4 billion deficit in its budget, questions are being asked about how we got here and what's next. As always, Alberta's fortunes are tied directly to oil and gas royalties, which the finance minister admits has to change. For more on the possible paths forward, we're joined now by Jeremy Thompson. Jeremy, another question has come up before. It's come up again this time. Is it time for a provincial sales tax?
Yeah, I mean, Jeff, this idea comes up basically every budget, especially that is when oil prices are low like this time. The difference now, though, is the government actually seems open to exploring the idea. While a new tax might make sense economically, the political analyst I spoke with says Albertans aren't likely to go for it. The deficit comes down to simple math. The government is spending more money than it's earning.
Given the pressures we are facing from population growth plus inflation as well, increases for compensation and declining revenue, this situation was unavoidable.
Most of that declining revenue is because oil prices are lower than expected. Every $1 drop in the price of crude takes $680 million from Alberta's bottom line. The finance minister was asked whether it's time to bring in a provincial sales tax.
That's a conversation we can have. I don't have a mandate to pursue that at this time. You know, we're the government that cut taxes for the lowest bracket. because of these affordability concerns.
This economist believes a sales tax would be bad for Alberta's brand. He'd rather the province do more to rein in spending.
We're not seeing an offset to that big spending in the bad years, or equivalently, just a decrease in spending during the good years. So we need to spend less. That's the bottom line.
Another economist, Moshe Lander, says it's not that simple.
When the government says we're running a deficit because we're spending on education and healthcare, I don't have a problem with that. That actually improves the long-run capacity of the economy. It shows that there's compassion here. It shows that people can get the help that they need when they need it. That's not bad.
Horner suggests it's time for Albertans to think seriously about restructuring taxes. Lander believes a decision about PST is one elected leaders should make.
It's not a matter of whether we want it or not. It's whether we need it or not. There is no path back to balanced budgets without finding a way to break over-reliance on non-renewable resource revenue. It's as simple as that.
I'll believe it when I see it, especially since we're 18 months out from the election.
Political analyst John Brennan says a sales tax makes sense for provincial revenue, but it's even less popular with voters than deficits are.
The cost of mortgages and rent, food, utilities, all the necessities of life. These are the concerns of the majority of people. The majority of people don't sit at home at night and thinking, gosh, that deficit is getting high.
Now, the government does have a long-term plan to get off the resource roller coaster. That's bolstering the Alberta Heritage Savings Trust Fund and, importantly, not making withdrawals. In the short term, it's finding money in other places. Provincial property taxes are up this budget. Fines for excessive speeding and other traffic violations are too. And staying in a hotel, renting a car, and registering your own vehicle will all cost more. Jeff?
All right, Jeremy, thank you. That's Jeremy Thompson live for us tonight. Elections Alberta says more recall petitions have failed. It says 7 petitions, including the one against Morinville St. Albert MLA Dale Nally, were unsuccessful. Petition organizers failed to gather the required number of signatures. Elections Alberta has also terminated petitions for Jackie Lovely and Cyril Turton. It says petition organizers must now destroy all signed and unsigned signature sheets and let them know they have done so. RCMP have laid charges in an extortion and shootings investigation that began in Parkland County and expanded to include violent incidents targeting the South Asian community across the country. RCMP say 24-year-old Jagdeep Singh has been charged with extortion and firearm offences. The foreign national was identified and arrested in Red Deer in November, then released into the custody of the Canada Border Services Agency. RCMP are now looking for him, along with the CBSA, who said Singh escaped custody in Calgary while undergoing a medical assessment. Police say the Parkland County victims are part of the South Asian community and face demands for millions of dollars.
They did nothing wrong. They're in their home and their house gets shot at. I'd be pretty fearful as well, right? It's one of those things that I'd really send the message of contacting your local authorities if there's any extortion threats that they receive.
Edmonton police have arrested 2 other foreign nationals for weapons offences. Police say they're part of the same crime group but not directly related to the Parkland County extortion shootings. Alberta's police watchdog is investigating the death of a man who was arrested at a seniors' home this past weekend. EPS says it responded to a report of an assault around 8 a.m. Saturday at a shared living facility near 129th Ave and 119th Street. Witnesses reported the man appeared intoxicated and incoherent. Police say officers tried to arrest him. He resisted, then went into medical distress. EPS says paramedics were called and officers started performing CPR immediately. The man died later in hospital. ACERT says the man entered the seniors' home injured, looking for help. Since his death happened after a police interaction, it will investigate the actions of officers. And police say a driver who was arrested earlier this month was traveling 120 kilometers over the posted speed limit in northwest Edmonton. Last Sunday around 8 p.m., officers spotted a Mercedes on 142nd Street near 167th Avenue. It was going 181 kilometers an hour. The road's speed limit is 60. Police say the driver was arrested for dangerous driving and issued tickets for speeding and careless driving. Well, minus 20-degree temperatures aren't for everyone, but the tiger at the Edmonton Valley Zoo doesn't seem to mind. The Valley Zoo Development Society posted a series of photos of its tiger, Amba. rolling around in the snow. It says, for anyone wondering how Ambo was handling it being minus 27 degrees last week, we think this speaks for itself. Some people commented it looks like she was enjoying the snow and wanting a belly rub. Well, at least somebody's enjoying it, Josh.
I think there's lots of people enjoying it.
You're probably right. I haven't met any of them recently, but
it was another chilly day today, which maybe has some people a little disappointed in the forecast after some really warm weather earlier in the week. It is going to get back above zero, though, it looks like on Sunday, and most of the first week of March actually looks fairly mild. Minus 17 right now in downtown Edmonton, minus 16 to 18 for outlying areas. Wind, thankfully, has been fairly light, so no real significant wind chill. We do have a few flurries that have popped up in the last little bit. We'll show you on the radar map here in a moment. Nothing really all that heavy, but a little bit of light snow over the next few hours. Minus 14 for a daytime high today, although that was this morning. Most of this afternoon, we've kind of leveled off in the minus 15 range. Minus 2 is the average high for this time of year. We'll be below average again for another day tomorrow. Here's the shot from the CTV drone from earlier. Cloudy skies have been in place all day today. The drone's brought to you by Century Casinos. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Now, for most of the day, it was just empty clouds, but from time to time, parts of the city have seen a few flurries, and now you can see just off to the west of the Edmonton area, there is a bit more light snow that's going to go through. This is not going to amount to all that much, but there will be a fresh dusting on the ground by later tonight. Heavier snow further to the south, especially in the purple zone, so snowfall warning remains in effect there. And across the north, we have a cold warning. Icefields Parkway, though, has dropped the snowfall warning. And I think Red Deer, you're probably going to get out of the snowfall warning here later on this evening. Most of the snow in that area should be done by mid-evening. Here in Edmonton, we'll be in the minus 17, minus 18 range mid-evening and minus 20 tomorrow morning. So a cold start to the day, but some sunshine, light wind, and back to about minus 8 tomorrow afternoon. Full 5 and 10 day forecast in a couple minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you, Josh. Still to come, time for a refresh.
I can't wait to see the reaction from our community.
Spruce Grove gets a new logo and new branding. Also ahead.
It's a real impact at the local level, and that's what today represents. Not just funding, but momentum.
Ground breaks on new federally supported rental apartments.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
130 new federally supported rental apartments are coming to the Mill Woods neighborhood in Edmonton. Ground broke today on 2 new 4-story buildings coming to the northwest corner of Millbourne Road and 76th Street. That's the former site of the Tweddle Place retail complex. The federal government is providing $34 million in low-interest loans to Regency Developments. The development will also include commercial space that can accommodate childcare centers. All units must have rents at or below 30% of the median household income in Edmonton. The ground floor suites are designed to accommodate people with mobility challenges.
When the federal government steps up with tools to accelerate construction, it's a real impact at the local level. And that's what today represents. Not just funding, but momentum. Momentum to increase rental supply. Momentum to support local trades and construction jobs.
The federal government's apartment construction loan program is helping fund more than 130,000 rental homes across Canada over the next 6 years. These loans must be paid back in full. The city of Spruce Grove is celebrating a milestone anniversary with a rebrand. The city's first refresh in 20 years. The new logo includes a spruce tree on top of the outline of a spruce cone. The city says vibrant parks, green spaces, and a warm community spirit inspired the new brand.
When you see the video, it brings in the emotions of those strong values that make Spruce Grove what it is. So fantastic. I can't wait to see the reaction from our community.
The new branding is already on city websites. The city says it will gradually appear on buildings, vehicles, and signs as part of regular maintenance and replacement schedules. Spruce Grove will celebrate its 40th anniversary Sunday at Heavy Metal Place with live music, horse-drawn carriage rides, and a fireworks show. Local Olympian Kelsey Mitchell is recovering after her third Olympics, which was also her first Winter Games. In Italy, she traded her bike for a bobsleigh.
They're longer than I've ever been with cycling. I got to experience the Olympic Village. I got to experience opening ceremonies, closing ceremonies as well. Got to go watch some other sports. And so it was definitely more of a Olympic experience.
Taking a break from her usual sport of cycling, Mitchell competed in Milan on Canada's bobsled team. While she's had a lifelong interest in bobsleigh, she didn't start seriously training until last July.
Back when I was like 21, my parents, for a birthday gift, got me to ride down the Calgary track for bobsleigh. And that was my first time thinking like, oh, maybe I could represent Canada in a different sport. 10 years later, to be able to actually go to the Olympics and represent Team Canada in bobsleigh, which was the original sport that I had wanted and believed I could be successful in, is like pretty special.
Mitchell and her teammate placed 13th. Mitchell says she's proud of her bobsledding journey. She jokes friends are now asking if there's a third sport she'll try next. Ice climbers from around the world are battling it out on climbing walls in Edmonton's River Valley. The final round of the UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup is happening this weekend in Louise McKinney Park. It's the third time Edmonton has hosted the event, which is the last stop on a World Cup circuit reaching 3 continents. Organizers say about 90 athletes representing 20 countries are here for the event, which features both an ice wall and wooden walls.
Ice is actually too easy for the athletes, and it's not consistent. So they do the speed climbing on the ice in the middle, which will start shortly behind me. And then the difficulty is on the wooden surface.
The event ends tomorrow. The World Tour winners in the lead and speed disciplines will be crowned at the end. Still ahead, once upon a time in Edmonton.
Peter Hemingway obviously had a really good design because we've had this now for 50 years.
We explore the history of the Muttart Conservatory.
Sunshine in the forecast for the next couple of days. Looking pretty cloudy and snowy out there right now. Temperatures climbing through the next few days as well. Back above zero by Sunday afternoon. Forecast next.
Okay, so guys, all things being equal, on a sunny day, are you warmer with snow on the ground or without snow on the ground? Without snow on the ground, obviously, right? It's colder when there's... But is it the snow that's making us colder, or is it just reflecting the sun's energy? Yeah, it's just reflecting the sun's energy. Lots of people think that when there's snow on the ground, that snow is making us cold. It's radiating out cold. And it's not really doing that. What it's doing is the sun gives us energy in shortwave radiation, right? Feels really nice on our skin. And the ground needs to absorb that and turn it into long-wave radiation to help to warm us up. Can the ground absorb that shortwave radiation if there's snow on the ground? No, that light color, that snow reflects the sun's energy. And so when there's no snow on the ground, that darker surface will do a better job of absorbing the sun's energy and helping to warm us up. I mean, it makes sense that we would be warmer if there's no snow, right? But that's why we're warmer with no snow. Make sense?
Yeah.
These are the grade 5s from Smart Kids here in St. Albert at Neil M. Ross. Forecasters of the future, and you are
CTV Watchers.
Weather Watchers brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
Once upon a time in Edmonton, glass pyramids became a feature of the city's skyline. The Muttart Conservatory opened in Cloverdale 50 years ago. Tonight, we explore the building's history. Here's CTV's Matt Woodman.
So it was just a lot of like industrial here before there was the Muttart.
September 1976, the Muttart Conservatory, designed by architect Peter Hemingway, opens in one of Edmonton's oldest neighborhoods.
Peter Hemingway obviously had a really good design because we've had this now for 50 years.
It honors 2 philanthropists who created the Muttart Foundation, a charitable organization that focuses on early education for children.
It was built in memory of Merrill and Gladys Muttart.
Megan Gergatz McMorrin has worked at the Muttart since 2021. She calls the building's pyramid design iconic and says what's inside is just as unique.
There are 4 different biomes. So we have tropical, we have arid, which we're in right now, so like a desert lacking water. And then we have temperate, which is change in seasons. And then we have a feature pyramid that changes 6 times a year.
The feature pyramid has been home to many different exhibits. In 2013, Dueling Knights launched the Muttart Sword in the Stone theme. In 2014, a giant polar bear made from more than 7,000 white carnations was introduced.
It holds the water and the carnations will continue to stay alive. Yeah, lift her up.
And in 2018, Museum of the Moon took visitors to outer space.
It's a 23 feet in diameter exhibit. It weighs 100 pounds.
Most of the Muttart's displays are more grounded. This prehistoric pine called Wollemai arrived in 2009 after it was rediscovered in 1996.
So they thought it was extinct from millions of years ago, but then there was a bushwalker, somebody who worked for the park in Australia, who was walking, just literally walking, and they found it. So they found about like 100 of them.
An American agave plant that was donated to the Muttart in the 70s put on a show in 2012. It started growing up to 1 foot a day until it was 30 feet tall before it finally bloomed. The plants bloom once in their lifetime and then die.
It's not really, I would say, floriferous, like impressive, but they're there and they're all opening and doing its part, hoping it gets pollinated, which it won't at Muttart, unfortunately.
Some people have compared it to dirty diapers. Some people have compared it to when you find a dead animal on the road, and so it does have a strong stench.
In 2013, a corpse flower made a stink when it bloomed at the Muttart, only the 3rd time the flower had been grown in Canada.
And immediately we thought, of course, it sounded like a great assignment for meteorologist Josh Clausen. He is joining us live from the Muttart. So what do you think it smells like?
Why would you see stinky things and think of me and send me down?
Because you've got the best smeller.
Josh put someone else's smeller to the test to find out how stinky the flower really was.
I've got Mingus here. Mingus, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay, Mingus is going to smell Evan said hockey locker room, and Mingus is going to smell my goalie glove and then compare it to the flower. Mingus, smell this. How bad does that smell?
Much worse than the flower.
Much worse than the flower.
While the smell wasn't enough to clear the Muttart out, it was closed for renovations a couple of times. There have also been some unexpected repairs.
In all of my history with the city and here at Muttart, I've never heard of this happening before.
In 2009, an 18-year-old woman fell about 6 meters into the Muttart after attempting to climb the center pyramid.
I can't be strapped in like this.
I know, I'm right here.
In August 2012, a hailstorm hit the city.
We evacuated the public from the pyramids because we were concerned about the size of the hail and obviously being under glass structures.
The pyramids weren't damaged, but the greenhouses weren't so lucky. Around 900 panes of glass needed to be replaced. For 50 years, the Muttart has been a place for families to explore, from teddy bear picnics to Easter egg hunts and New Year's Eve parties.
Happy New Year, Edmonton!
It will celebrate its golden anniversary this fall.
How do you do it? How do you look exactly like you did 13 years ago? Was that?
That's
hasn't aged today.
Good to see Mingus again, though. And you know what? That's a great place to spend a cold winter day. You step inside there and you're transported. It looks really cold outside right now on the River Valley Sky Camps. Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed rider, it's free. Minus 17. And it's flurries flying around in the Edmonton area. We'll get to minus 14 early today for a daytime high. Fort McMurray only hit minus 23. Minus 6 in Red Deer and Jasper for daytime highs earlier today. There's that little bit of flurry activity sliding through. We're almost on the back edge of this, so you get another hour or two, and then it's all completely out of here. This will stick around, especially in the southeast, right through the overnight period and into early tomorrow morning. But even in the southeast, Medicine Hat region, I think you're probably done with the snow by 8 or 9 tomorrow morning. Cold warning in effect for the areas in pink across the north. And then, as we pointed out earlier, Icefields Parkway, there was a snowfall warning. They've had a ton of snow warning's now ended. Still in effect for Red Deer, but I think by the time you get to about 9, 10 o'clock tonight, that snow should be out of the Red Deer region. We'll start the day tomorrow with some cloud cover, get some sunshine tomorrow afternoon, and then on Sunday, you may have a few clouds in the morning. Sunshine, though, by the afternoon. Most of the cloud cover and the snow will be across the north. We've had some heavy snow as well in pockets across parts of northern Alberta over the last few days. This won't be as heavy as what you've had, but yeah, you're going to pick up some more snow, Peace River and Fort McMurray, maybe a couple more centimeters worth. That's actually a cold front that'll drop through Sunday night. So I've got temperatures Sunday, a degree or two above zero, and then just slightly below zero on Monday, Tuesday. Here's tomorrow. Little bit of a warm up for us here in Edmonton. Off to the west, you'll see temperatures back into the 0 to -5 range for daytime highs, 0 to +5 for areas in green. That includes us here in Edmonton. But you can see there is still some cold air that's built up across the north, and some of that will slip south into Monday, Tuesday. There's a bit of uncertainty with just how cold this will get Monday, Tuesday. I think somewhere between -1 and -5 for daytime highs. I've kind of leaned at the warmer end of that, going with -2s for Monday, Tuesday, and then about -6 on Wednesday. -26 right now in Fort McMurray. It's -20 in Grand Prairie, -15 in Red Deer, and here in Edmonton, -17. A little bit of a breeze. Feels slightly cooler, but look at this, -33 Fort McMurray, -30s Grand Prairie, Slave Lake already. And overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning in that cold warning zone, wind chill in the -40 range. We'll see light wind, so no significant wind chill here in the city. -20 to start the day. Sunshine in the afternoon, high of about -7 or -8. Up to a degree or two above zero on Sunday, although still pretty chilly in the morning at -15. And then back slightly below the freezing mark for Monday, Tuesday, with a chance of some more light snow on Monday. That high of -6 Wednesday is not indicative of a longer-term trend. We're actually back above zero, it looks like, by a couple of degrees towards the end of next week.
Thank you, Josh. Still ahead, Canada's contracting economy.
We need these tariffs removed. I think that's going to create back the certainty that we need. That's going to remove all these uncertainty. People are not going to be as fearful of their jobs and what's going to happen.
How Canadian manufacturers are changing habits, and
ultimately it's been the drug consumption has been really problematic and really disrupting our ability to be a public library.
Canada's libraries on the front lines of the mental health and drug crisis.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Canada's economy shrunk unexpectedly in the fourth quarter of 2025, ending a volatile trade year in the negative. Statistics Canada says the main reason was manufacturers choosing to use goods they'd stockpiled. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver has more.
At Ottawa's Ideal Roofing, 2025 was a year of constant change and unpredictability.
We've lost some of our American customers because of tariffs, like about a 5% drop. And in Canada, we find there's a lot of uncertainties from our customers and from our suppliers.
The family-owned business says clients are spending more cautiously, and that's changed how and what they buy. Tariffs, for example, have erased their U.S. market for raw sheet metal and coils, which means they're sitting on extra inventory.
We need these tariffs removed. I think that's going to create back the certainty that we need. That's going to remove all these uncertainty. People are not going to be as fearful of their jobs and what's going to happen.
To compensate for all that instability, Statistics Canada says many manufacturers are dipping into their stockpiles instead of buying or making new products, and that's contributing to lower economic growth. In the fourth quarter, GDP contracted by 0.6% compared to a 2.4% jump the quarter before. The drop bringing the country's overall growth in 2025 to just 1.7%, the slowest annual pace of growth since 2020.
It does appear that ongoing uncertainty about trade policies continuing to weigh on business investment, and that's what's keeping the economy down towards the end of the year.
Economists say there are positive signs in today's data. Household spending and total capital investment, including by the government, are up.
On the metrics that currency traders look at, that global investors look at, the Canadian economy is holding up pretty well.
Throughout the first quarter of 2026, most economists predict GDP will be flat. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is now in India on a major trade mission. The trip comes as pressure mounts on the government to clarify whether it believes India is still carrying out foreign interference in Canada. CTV's Abigail Beeman has more from Mumbai.
The Prime Minister is now here in Mumbai trying to pitch Canada as a stable and reliable trading partner for India. While many in Canada's Sikh community don't feel India is a reliable partner for them, half a dozen organizations came together to voice their opposition to a Canadian government official's comments suggesting India is no longer involved in violence on Canadian soil. The RCMP and former Prime Minister previously linked the Indian government to the murder of a Canadian Sikh activist, while a CSIS report labeled India a main perpetrator of foreign interference and espionage.
To tell communities who are continuing to live these realities that this connection somehow has magically disappeared is not reassuring. It is dishonest, it is insulting, and it is gaslighting at its highest level.
While neither CSIS nor the RCMP would respond head-on to the new comments from a government official, not everyone in government agrees. At least one Liberal is denouncing the comments.
I strongly condemn these remarks made by the government official because the claim is very disconnected from the reality the community is facing on the ground, and also it contradicts with the assessments of Canada National Security and Law Enforcement Agency, including NSIA, the RCMP, and the CSIS.
We have not heard from Prime Minister Mark Carney about this issue since landing in India Friday afternoon, local time. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Mumbai.
Tensions are rising with Iran while the U.S. continues its military buildup in the Middle East. Now, Ottawa is warning Canadians to leave the country while they can. The federal government is urging all Canadians to avoid travel to Iran, saying hostilities could resume with little or no warning, and the possibility of civil unrest persists. Another concerning sign in the region, the U.S. has told some embassy staff they can leave Israel, and if they want to, they should get out today, as fears of an American strike on Iran grow. Meantime, the UK has withdrawn its staff from their embassy in Tehran. Pakistan's defense minister says his country is in open war with Afghanistan after launching airstrikes on Kabul and a series of attacks across the country. Strikes followed the Afghan Taliban's declaration of a major offensive against Pakistani military posts yesterday. The escalating violence follows months of clashes between the two nations despite a fragile ceasefire that was agreed to in October. Dozens of deaths have been reported in the latest round of attacks. Libraries across Alberta and the rest of the country have found themselves on the front lines of the opioid and mental health crisis. As one of the last few true public spaces, those who run them are holding on to hope they can remain that way. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has more on the challenges and what some think may be the solution.
Hamilton, Ontario Central Library is a modern 6-story complex, a multi-use public space that prides itself on being inclusive. Though delivering on its mission statement is becoming increasingly more difficult.
Ultimately, it's been the drug consumption has been really problematic and really disrupting our ability to be a public library.
Since December, paramedics have been called to Hamilton Central Library 105 times. Security have administered life-saving naloxone on 44 occasions. In the first 5 weeks of this year, there's been a total of 771 incidents involving security.
People consuming drugs in the washrooms, sometimes consuming drugs within the library itself.
The CEO of Hamilton's Public Library had suggested a temporary closure to allow for a reset. A board of directors rejected the idea. In March of last year, 2 libraries in Saskatoon were closed temporarily due to growing safety and overdose concerns.
Library workers aren't first responders. They shouldn't have to deal with medical emergencies.
In May, a library in Thunder Bay had to shut its doors after a staff member was assaulted. Back in Hamilton, there's no clear consensus.
Do you believe that this library should close as they work to get a handle on the issues that are taking place here?
I don't know. It's a hard question. We're hoping to find a solution that keeps the library accessible, that keeps it inclusive.
Last year, the Ontario government closed 10 safe injection sites, including in Hamilton, opening treatment facilities in their place.
I would hope that they can see the impact that their policy decisions have made.
An email from Ontario's Minister of Health's office says, in part, that instead of giving people tools to use illegal drugs, our government is making record investments to help break the tragic cycle of drug addiction. Though for now, librarians thrust onto the front lines say the cycle continues to spin out of control.
With fewer supervised consumption sites, the concern among those we spoke with is that the crisis taking place here and at libraries across the country will only continue to grow without adequate support. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Hamilton, Ontario.
Still ahead, new pediatric guidelines.
No one likes to know that their kid has these sorts of health problems, but on the other hand, early intervention prevents them from going down the same path that I did.
The importance of early cholesterol screening, and
this provides an opportunity for our community to move forward in a big way.
A new zoning approval paves the way for a permanent shelter site in Red Deer. Looking at the markets, the Canadian dollar closed near 73 cents U.S. Oil was up $1.81, closing the day $67.02 U.S. a barrel. Gold was up nearly $54. The TSX and Dow Jones both finished the day lower, down 161 points and 521. Red Deer City Council has unanimously approved the rezoning of an area that would allow for a homeless shelter.
For far too long in this community, we've had shelter operators in temporary facilities with temporary zoning approvals in this perpetual cycle of not knowing what tomorrow brings. So this provides an opportunity for our community to move forward in a big way.
A two-day public hearing was held this week. 75 people spoke at the two-day hearing. The application was submitted by the Red Deer Homeless Foundation. It's looking to build a homeless shelter in the area of 77th Street and 40th Ave named Project Nexus. City Council approved an amendment to the land use bylaw that changes the zoning of the industrial site. Mayor Cindy Jeffries said this was not an easy decision for Council.
It's a fair distance from the downtown to get to this site, and we know many of our vulnerable people in our community are walking or in wheelchairs, and accessibility is important.
If approved, the group behind the shelter says it wants to open by this fall. The current shelter, Safe Harbor, will close at the end of March. Jeffrey says in the interim, Hope Mission will take over operations in the same facility. The Alberta government is warning of a potential measles exposure last week in Sherwood Park. It happened in the emergency waiting room at the Strathcona Community Hospital last Monday, the 16th, between 1:40 p.m. and 4. Anyone born in or after 1970 without 2 doses of the measles vaccine may be at risk. Measles is extremely contagious. Symptoms include a fever, cough, runny nose, and a rash, usually beginning behind the ears and on the face. If you develop measles symptoms, you're advised to call the measles hotline before visiting a hospital or doctor's office. The Canadian Pediatric Society is now recommending cholesterol screening for all kids between 2 and 10 years old. CTV's Rachel Aiello spoke to a family in Edmonton that experienced firsthand the value of early screening.
What do you do? After Edmonton father Mike Heathcote was diagnosed with a common genetic disorder that can cause lifelong high cholesterol, his family decided to have their kids Haley and Ryan tested.
Finding out the kids had it was a bit bittersweet. On the one hand, no one likes to know that their kid has these sorts of health problems, but on the other hand, early intervention prevents them from going down the same path that I did.
Today, the Canadian Pediatric Society released new guidance recommending cholesterol screening for all children between the ages of 2 and 10. Guidance Mike was thrilled to hear.
It's a simple blood test, and even if the result is negative, at least you know. There's a lot more people that are affected, and a lot of people that can be carriers of the gene and not even realize it.
The lead cardiologist behind the new guidance, who specializes in prevention, says plaque buildup in arteries starts in childhood and can be a key driver of heart disease and stroke.
Universal screening would permit us to find cholesterol disorders, especially genetic cholesterol disorders, and act on them in a timely and effective manner.
Doctors say high cholesterol is relatively easy to treat with lifestyle changes and, in some cases, medication. But the challenging part is finding it.
sadly, it's a silent disease until a first event happens, and then it all too often, unfortunately, it's diagnosed after a cardiac event or after a stroke.
The American Academy of Pediatrics also recommends cholesterol testing in children, but Canadian pediatricians hadn't had clear guidance until now. Dr. Corey said he hopes more widespread testing will improve the age of detection and patient outcomes in this country. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Still ahead. How Pokemon is celebrating 30 years. Stay with us.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk.
Coming up Monday on your morning, surface acting and how suppressing emotions can lead to burnout. And a lunar eclipse is on the horizon. We'll have all the details on how you can witness it.
Your morning, Edmonton.
Pokemon is celebrating 30 years today. From cards to games and collectibles, the multi-billion-dollar craze is still going strong. CTV's Tyler Fleming reports.
It started as a Nintendo video game and a story.
It's about Ash, who's going through his journey of getting badges and catching all the Pokemon.
The battling pocket monsters grew into worldwide success and a culture all on its own.
It's really evolved.
From cards and collectibles to movies.
Oh, I've been a fan since I've been a kid. Just grew up with it all the way through.
This is already like our restock.
30 years later, Pokemon still has a devoted fan base.
It's like a piece of your childhood. You're reliving the collecting experience with the person in front of you who has the cards every single time. So a couple cool items here.
And at Denerion Games and Cards, co-owner Danielle Levine is stocked with thousands of treasures.
I like to compare it to sports cards. It's the best way I find to get people who aren't in the hobby to understand what it's like.
Sean Newcomb has been collecting all his life. Today he's buying and opening this high-level box set.
There we go.
A water Pokemon. A quick check on its value.
He is worth $86.
Not bad. These cards can be worth a fortune.
We did have a first edition Charizard that we traded about a year ago, about $15K.
The Pikachu Illustrator, a rare 1998 Japanese Holy Grail card, sold this month at auction for a staggering and record $16.5 million. The Pokemon world consists of 1,025 characters.
This year marks the Pokemon series' 30th.
And on this day, its creator Satoshi Tajiri announced more to come.
That will be the beginning of the 10th generation of Pokemon.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
Are your kids into Pokemon?
You know, I was just going to say it's amazing how it keeps going. My 6-year-old in the last 2 weeks suddenly loves Pokemon, loves it. So, yeah, there we go.
You remember the Pokemon Go craze?
I do. So you see people on the train or on the bus or
man,
middle of the street sometimes.
All right, take a look outside right now. Minus 20 tomorrow morning, minus 8 tomorrow afternoon. We'll see a few clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon. Be a little nicer to wander around outside, staring at your phone on Sunday. Minus 15 in the morning, but a degree or two above zero in the sunshine Sunday afternoon. Highs of minus 2 for Monday, Tuesday. So back to about average for early next week with a chance of some more light snow Monday of next week. Temperatures towards the end of next week kind of settle back in around or slightly above zero for daytime highs.
All right, sounds great. Thank you, Josh. And thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, check out our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a great weekend, everyone.